Hello and welcome back to Today in the NBA, where today I'm going to be going over my Eastern Conference season preview. Now to start off, I have the Celtics finishing as the first seed with a record of 60 and 62. I think the Celtics are just so much better than they were last year because of the Kristaps Porzingis addition. I know it's not a massive step up from Marcus Smart. The team will probably get worse defensively, but I think it'll be worth it. With Kristaps Porzingis running the 5, they are able to maybe run Al Horford off the bench, which means there is much more of a sort of energy in Al Horford. He isn't having to play 28-30 minutes a night when he is very, very old for an NBA player. And I just think that this team is going to be getting so much better. Got the Bucks at 56 and 26 with the second seed. I think Giannis is going to be on another level this year after getting bounced out in the first round against the Heat last year. I think that Chris Middleton will probably be a bit worse and Drew Holiday will too. I think Brook Lopez is also not going to be as good, but I still think the team will be good. Heat with 52 and 30. After the way the Heat played in the playoffs, I don't think there's any way you can't have them ranked as at least a playoff team. They did lose Max Strus and a couple of other pieces, but I still think that Jimmy Butler will be able to propel them along with Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. Next, with the 4 seed, we have the Knicks with a record of 50 and 32. I think they get better after another year of playing together. An extra year of playing together. Jalen Brunson, such a great player. Julius Randle, I don't know if he'll be as good as he was last season, but I still think he'll be pretty good. And hopefully RJ Barrett takes a little bit of a jump. The 76ers with a record of 47 and 35 at the 5 seed. I think that they'll either trade Harden for not what he's worth, or they won't trade him and he'll just refuse to show up. I think he'll just live with the fines and live with all the restrictions that he's going to get. I think he's just not going to show up. I think Embiid will play amazingly again. I think he'll play like he's possessed again, play amazing. But I don't think that him and Tyrese Maxey are enough to finish as a top 4 or 5 seed, top 3 or 4 seed, sorry. 6th seed, we have the Hawks with a record of 46 and 36. I honestly think the Hawks will be so much better after a full year of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray playing together. They sort of did struggle to find a fit last year. Hopefully Trae Young can play more off-ball. And without John Collins on the court and in the locker room, I think there'll be a lot more opportunity for spacing and hopefully the team chemistry will be better as a whole. Next up with the 7 seed, we have the Cavs with a record of 44 and 38. I did love the addition of Max Strus and I think the team did get better. It's just that all the teams ahead of them are better than they are. Simple as that. I think that they have a great team with the perfect recipe for success. I think Evan Mobley will continue to be even better, developing from what he was last year. Hopefully he gets stronger, becomes a little bit better of a defender against more bruising post players and other bigger players. Hopefully he also works on his jump shot a bit, and so does Jared Allen, hopefully, so the floor can be spaced out a little bit more. 8th seed, we have, surprisingly, the Orlando Magic. I think they're going to be such a great team, and with the additions of Anthony Black and Jet Howard, a really good shooter in Jet Howard and a very good ball handler in Anthony Black, I think this team will be very fun and interesting to watch. I think that Franz Wagner plays amazing and Paolo takes an all-star jump. I think he could average 24 and 10 realistically next season. Along with Jonathan Isaac being back, I am very excited for this team. Next up with the 9 seed, with a record of 44 and 41, going 500, we have the Brooklyn Nets. I think they're an amazing team. They did finish last season really well, but it was only because at the start of the year they had KD and Kyrie, and when they got traded and they were back playing with Mikal Bridges and whatnot, the team wasn't as good. I think they had a losing record. I think they managed to keep up a 500 record, but only just. I think a big part of that is because this team will have very few injuries compared to many of the other teams out there. I also have the Pistons at the 10 seed with a record of 44 and 41. I have the Nets with the tiebreaker over them, which is why the Nets are above them. I think Cade Cunningham playing a full season will be great for them. I can also see Cade Cunningham being an all-star. Such a great player. Another season under both Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey's belts will be very interesting to see. Hopefully they develop well. The 11th seed, we have a Raptors with a record of 40 and 42. I think the new coach, it's very interesting what's going on. I think the Raptors are being sued by the Knicks because head coach Darko, I don't even want to attempt to pronounce his last name, has stolen some of his stuff that he had with the Raptors, redirected some of his work emails through to his private account and then sent them to the Raptors. So he is coming in with some drama behind him. Hopefully it doesn't affect them too much though. I just think that without Fred VanVleet and that without a lead point guard, or without a real lead playmaking point guard to run the show, I think they will struggle a little bit more with running their sets. I have the Bulls finishing with a record of 30. Oh, sorry. I have the Pacers at the 12th seed, finishing with a record of 38-44. I think they'll be a fun team to watch. I think Bruce Brown will be great for them. I'm really excited to see another season of Benedict Mathurin, Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner as well. If Miles Turner can stay healthy, I can definitely see them having a great season, potentially even being a playoff team. 13th seed, we have the Bulls with a record of 35-47. This team just doesn't really seem good enough to make too much playoff noise unless we see one all-star jump from Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams is a great defender. He's got great offensive skills. He's very fundamental in the way he plays, and I just don't know if he is going to be able to handle more shot attempts or if he will even be taking them. And I just don't think Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic are good enough to get you into the play-ins anymore, especially with all the talent we have in the league at the moment. Next up, we have the Hornets with a record of 34-48. I think that this team will be better skill-wise than their last season's team was, but I just don't think they have the personnel to really be winning. I think Gordon Hayward will regress to where he's almost unplayable just because he'll be too slow defensively and not impactful enough offensively to go along with all of his injury issues. I don't think Brandon Miller is going to come in and be an immediate impact player straight away. I think he might have a rookie season somewhat similar to Jabari Smith's from last year. It'll still be a great rookie season, but not what you're hoping from him. With a 15th seed, finally, we have the Washington Wizards with a record of 20-62. I predict the Wizards will be really, really bad next season. Obviously, they're still an NBA team though, so they could shock anyone and win a game on any given night, but I just don't think they really have the talent to make an all-star push. They have some nice, solid players, and players like Corey Kispert, Tyus Jones, Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole. It'll be an interesting team to watch, and they're definitely going to be one of my league pass teams. Definitely going to be one of the teams that I watch maybe 40-45 games of, but I'm definitely not going to be watching a whole season. I just think that they're not going to be good enough. Anyway, that does it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. What are your standings? Who do you think is going to win the West? Who do you think is going to win the East? If you really enjoyed the video, please consider leaving it a like. And if you really, really enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. I do post daily NBA content, so it is worth keeping up to date on. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.